Back when 08-09 happened, I'd be on the back of a 300-foot yacht right now, okay? That's when the big money is made, when the shit hits the fan. Yep. And exponential opportunity. But you got to get up to speed. You got to get prepared. You got to pick your vehicle right now. So you got to decide, because everything's going on sale. If this happens like I think it could, there'll be great opportunity to buy businesses. There's 80 million baby boomers, and some of those guys own businesses. They want to sell. They want to get out. And so that's an opportunity. I wish there was another one of me. That I'd be buying businesses. Any real estate. And so you got to decide how you're going to capitalize on this, because here's the thing. Yes, there's inflation, but inflation helps somebody that is buying real estate that they rent, because rents are going up. You buy a property, even if you think it's high now, you lock that debt in at a certain amount of debt, your property value is going to go up because rents are going to continue. They have to go up. Yeah. We have become a renter nation, and there's a huge shortage of housing.
How much of a shortage? A couple million?
Oh, no, it's like 4 million.
Wow.
4 million, and it's getting more every single year. And here's the problem, because the interest rate bump gone up, new development is dropped off a cliff.
Builders don't want to build.
No, they can't afford to right now. They have to wait. And so I think there's going to be a huge surge here, like in 2026, unless in single family prices. Okay, I do believe single family hopefully will be okay with all this. But like right now, there's this huge disparity between a mortgage payment and rent, even with the high rents, because of the interest rates. So, who knows how that's all going to shake out. But I know in my space, in the commercial multifamily, there's a lot of pain. A lot of guys in trouble.
Where's that pain coming from?
Yeah, let me explain. A lot of these guys that put deals together got adjustable rate debt because, see, the big players in that space are Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They do what's called non-recourse debt, meaning if they foreclose, they don't come after you, okay? Non-recourse debt. But the properties have to be stabilized in good shape, and they know what the hell they're doing. And they dropped the loan to value that you could get from 80% down to 60%. It came down in steps. And so operators would get this, what's called bridge debt. It's like the hard money lending in single family space. It's that kind of money, okay? Hard money, high interest rate, short term, like 1 to 3 years. And it's adjustable rate. And they're getting killed. And I'm in a couple of them. My ex-partner put me in a couple of them. We're doing a loan mod on one of them right now. 2 of them right now. Yeah. Pain in the butt.
And people didn't buy interest rate caps.
No. Well, see, that's the other thing. Let's talk about interest rate caps for a minute. So yes, some of them required it, but some people didn't. We were looking at an asset in San Antonio, a small one, just because we already have property there. And the guy's reserve payment to his lender, because the lender's like, hey, you better get some money put together to pay for this cap that you're going to have to pay for when this loan comes due. His reserve payment went from $8,000 to $80,000 a month.
Wow.
Is that painful?
Yeah.
And so let me give you a stat, because I actually brought it with me about rate caps. So what you'll do when you get an adjustable rate loan is you'll buy what you said, a rate cap. And a lot of people don't understand that. But basically what a rate cap does is it locks your rate from going up more than a certain amount, so many points or so many percents interest over a certain period of time. Okay. So in 2020, a 3-year 3% rate cap for a $100 million loan costs $23,000. Wow. So you could buy a $100 million 3% 3-year rate cap. Your rate's not going to go up more than 3% in 3 years for $23,000. That rate cap, this was about a year ago I pulled this. That same rate cap right now, or back then, was $2.3 million. It's more than that now. Wow. Forget 3 years. That's 1 year. 1 year was $2.3 million.
Wow.
So here's the thing. You got a lot of operators that got that crappy debt, and they either have to refinance or they have to sell. Okay. Sales are down 90% right now in commercial real estate. They're way down. Okay. To refinance, you've got to satisfy debt service coverage requirements, meaning the income has to be more than 125% of what your debt payments are. Yep. And if the interest rate's up, that's really hard. So these guys are having to put money in just to have a lender sniff the loan, okay? Then they got to buy a rate cap. So, I mean, a lot of operators are struggling. Tough. So there's opportunity. I mean, we just closed on a deal in next to a mile away from the 296 unit in San Antonio, 200 unit, screaming deal. Like I call it a unicorn. But they're starting to come. We got it for about a 40% discount.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because distressed seller.
Yeah.
Yep.
He ran out of money, and so that's starting to happen, and it's going to be more and more. Which is why I'm saying, if there was ever a time to get into this business and or pick a vehicle, it's right now. Do you mind if I mention my boot camp?
Of
while
course.
I'm on that? Okay,
Talk about it.
So I've got it's the only live event I do a year. It's November 8th, 9th, and 10th in Orlando. And I go through 3 days drinking through a freaking fire hose. I'm not one of these guys that teases you with crap. It's everything. Yep. Bring your A game because it's you're going to drink through a fire hose. But go through every aspect of this business like I described. And if you go to rodinorlando.com, or if you're driving, text the word links to 72345, and you'll go to my link tree, and my boot camp site is there. And if you use the code Austin when you check out, you can come for $197 for 3 days of training. Tell me your freaking excuse, okay?
100%.
I mean, you got to pay for the travel, but Orlando's not a horrible place to go to in November anyway.
Stop at Disney World while you're
at it. Right. Exactly. Bring the kids, go to Disney. But again, bring your A game. But use the code Austin to check out for $197.
And I'll put the link down below too.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Yeah, so rodinorlando.com. But if you go to that Rod's Links, which is what you'll get if you text links to 72345, go to rodslinks.com. There's a ton of free resources there. My podcast is there. If you're interested in multifamily, I highly recommend you subscribe to my podcast because, and I spend time on mindset too, even if you're not interested in multifamily. I do little clips every week called Own Your Power, and they're 5-minute clips. You give me 5 minutes a week, I'll juice your ass, I promise, okay? Because, and that's why the show's been so successful. It's, people don't remember what you say, they remember how you made them feel. But
do you think interest rates are going to come back down soon?
A little bit,
okay,
but not enough to be hugely impactful.
They
can't because of inflation.
Right.
I mean, we printed 80% of the money.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I mean, there's nothing I think they can do.
Yeah.
And at some point, God forbid, something's going to get really ugly. It has to with all this debt. I don't know. Maybe they go to digital currency. Who the hell knows how they got to pull out of it? But I mean, we could see hyperinflation.
Yeah.
And
if we haven't already.
But again, don't get scared by this. Get your butt up to speed. Decide how you're going to capitalize on this, and get up to speed so that you can take advantage of it, because this is exponential money is made when this happens. Like I said, my portfolio went down 70%. Well, it's probably up at 250% from that time now, those houses. And so everything is going to go back down, but it'll come back up. So, and cash is king and when that happens. In a crisis, cash is king. But with crisis comes incredible opportunity. So, if you don't get sucked into the fear, because the news will paint it like it's going to be horrible forever. I remember in 2008, they said real estate's going to be terrible for 10 years. Well, it wasn't.
Yeah.
In fact, rents exceeded pre-crash levels in less than 3 years, okay, from that big crash. And that was a big one. So, but you got to get up to speed. So I don't care if it's with me or not, but, maybe it's flipping, wholesaling with you, whatever it is, decide how you're going to capitalize and get your ass going.